Imagine the following situation. You happen to have 1 million Czech crowns, which you want to invest into real estate. What would you do? Where would you buy a property, and would you buy one or two? Sometimes I got to ask these questions. Robin, where would you invest if you had 1 million Czech crowns? And I thought, why not to answer this question? I will be going with few assumptions, such as you want to invest the 1 million into properties, not into stocks or into other instruments. So it will be purely for investment or into real estate, because that's what I do. Second would be that you have already a financial buffer. I mean, you have some money set aside for what-if scenarios. So I'm not going to work to keep some money aside, because I assume that you already have these. And the third, you know what you're doing. I'm not a financial planner where I would be asking what are your costs, etc. My job is to make sure that clients know how to buy a property and possibly shift them in the right direction. Okay? If you want to know what I would do if I had a 1 million, well, I broke it down to 3 scenarios. And it is always relevant, and it's hard to advise or give opinions if I don't know who is watching or who is in front of me. So I ask questions about to understand who you are, what you want to do. So I did some assumptions or different scenarios. And the first scenario is for a person who wants to buy for their own living in Prague. I selected this flat 3KK in Žižkov. It's a 65 square meter, or sorry, 63. It's after renovation in a decent condition. And I was a bit surprised. I was like, really? 3KK in Žižkov under 10? And it looks pretty decent. I'll show you a few photos. It is currently rented for 29,000. As I say, in decent shape. I was surprised myself. And if you can keep the tenant if you want, or you can move it yourself. Why did I select this property? Well, because it's still fairly central. It's in Žižkov, which is quite close. The only downside, you have only buses there. There are no trams or metro. If you accept this, then you're good. This would be for people who want to live there. I put the numbers here so that you see everything in a more detail. The repayments on the current market conditions would be around 47,000. If you keep the tenant there for 29,000 per month, that's annual cash flow or monthly cash flow minus almost 18,000. And that's the biggest disadvantage. You have to be able to sustain this cost. And is it a bad deal because of the bad cash flow? No, not necessarily, as long as the property will keep on appreciating, but you need a relatively high income. You need to be earning at least 93,000 net after taxes. So this is what hits your bank account, ideally an employee. If you're self-employed, banks look at it differently. However, this is my scenario number 1 for someone who has high income, who wants to either move there themselves, or they're looking for an investment where they are fine with a negative cash flow in this amount. Now, a disclaimer, if you want to get 90%, it has to be for own living. So if you're asking for a mortgage for a bank, then it has to be for own living. In a second scenario, we will buy 2 properties. It is for a person who has similarly high income. What I'm saying here, it's not the easiest thing to do, and there is a certain risk involved. So please don't take this as oh, this is easy, do it this way, no worries. Yes, there are risks with investing into property, but this video is about what I would do if I had 1 million and I was in this situation. I would buy 1KK in Prague, and then 2+1 in Kladno. You know, Kladno, west of Czech Republic, very close by. It's a nice commuter's town. It's not as nice, let's say, as Beroun, but it's more affordable. Now, looking at what's available, what 1KK you can buy for 4.3 million? Yeah, it's not much. I looked into a couple, and in the end, I settled with this one in Uhříněves. It's after nice renovation, it's cleverly done, and it's ready to go. It's also a new development project in Uhříněves. The transportation, I would be using the trains. The train is right here next to the property. I think this is a decent option. It will be sold pretty quickly, in my opinion. It's also energy efficiency B, and the fact that the sleeping is up there, it is a very clever use of the space, in my opinion. So this should rent out pretty well. This is for the first property. The second property would be in Kladno, 2+1 in, I believe this is a panel building. Oh no, it's a brick one. 3rd floor. And it has, 54 square meter for 5.8? looks decent. It is after some renovation. You might want to do a little patching, but I don't consider it in. The kitchen is not there, but they say it will be finished in the description. This property, if you would rent it out, and I've put it here, that my basic rental estimation would be around these numbers: 13,000 for 1 kk, 2 plus 1 in Kladno for 15, and again, the numbers you can see here, the mortgage as 90% down payment, we are 10,000 above the budget of 1 million, so excuse me, monthly repayments, and again, there is a low cash flow, or there is a discrepancy in the cash flow, and also the required income, again, is in a similar amount. Now, a little trouble I have here, we have 2 properties for own living. So how do we do that? You shouldn't rent it out because you're buying it for your own living. But the bank doesn't forbid you to rent it out. They say, depends on the bank, but they say if you want to rent it out, either let us know or don't rent it out for more than 1 year. Well, so you buy the 1 kk, you move in yourself, and then you realize, oh, it's too small, then I want to buy in Kladno. You move in, oops, it's too far. Well, you can get creative, and you didn't get it from me, but this is the only way how to get 90% financing. It is only for own living. Am I telling you to lie to the banks? No, definitely not. In the last scenario, I go to my favorite city of Ostrava. Well, I'm biased, I'm from Ostrava originally, even though we're working in Prague. Here, I'm working with a different proposition, is that the client maybe doesn't have so high income. They have still 1 million saved, but they want to play it safer in a way that they will invest whole 1 million and buy only 1 flat in Ostrava with 30% down payment. Because by the regulations of Czech National Bank, you need to bring 30% for investment properties. I've selected this flat. It's 2 plus 1, a little bit smaller, but this is typical for panel buildings in Ostrava. And it's after renovation, pretty nice. It's good to go. There's no need to invest any more money. 4th floor out of 6, including elevator. There is no balcony, but we can't get everything. And for 3.3 million, if we put it here into the calculator, we will get 70% mortgage down payment, the same 1 million, monthly repayments about 12,300, well, and with expected rent around 13,000, you're actually in surplus, and required income is very low. With this, I want to show that different types of clients with different needs, different incomes, and different plans for their future, and whether it's for their own living or for living of their families, different scenarios are possible. So I can't tell you do this one thing and that's the best investment. I can only tell you my opinion, and in my opinion, these are the 3 reasonable scenarios. Now, there are, of course, other cities, other ways how you can invest 1 million. You can also consider one of those online funds where you would put money into some real estate fund, which guarantee a certain return. And just watch out where you will put the money, because if the company goes bankrupt, it's not like property. The real estate will be always there. In the funds, there is a certain risk, but the same thing is with everything. It's the investment of a sort. I hope this video got you some insight. The buying properties, it's not in a way that there is only one way how to proceed. Multiple ways, multiple scenarios, and it's up to you to make the decision. My job is to give you context and information so that you can make the best educated guess or best educated decision, and then we might work together. My name is Robin, I'm founder of Expats Finance, and I work in real estate and finance for last 13 years, before I worked in the banks. If you want to know more about how we can work together, drop me a message, contact details are below, and see you in the next video.